meantime, there's a couple little bits of news I figure we could talk about. Sony is pissing off a lot of people because they are not playing with others. They are not doing crossplay with Fortnite. This has been like a big kind of big kerfuffle on the internet.
Yeah.
Because people obviously they want to transfer their Fortnite progress over to Switch or from.
So I understand the basis of this, but basically it seems like if you try and play Fortnite on Switch with your Epic account, if that account is linked to your PSN, then you can't use it. Correct?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
It's linked to an account that played on PS4.
I had to start a second account to play Fortnite on Switch that I use my work email, which is annoying. But yeah, I mean, this has kind of been a mounting storm with Sony, right? Like, especially in consideration of Fortnite. If you remember back during the game's launch, the Battle Royale launch, Epic kind of threw that switch and had that crossplay for a minute, and then everybody was like up in arms about it because they were like, "Oops, we did that by mistake."
Button, my bad.
But yeah, I think it's drawn even more so into the limelight now that it's out for Switch and it's out for Xbox, and they can all play with each other PC except for PlayStation. And we've
Same
seen
as Minecraft,
same as Rocket League. I was gonna say we've seen PS4, Sony sequester itself with other games that are like predominantly online as well, and it's kind of a bummer because, like Max said, as somebody that's played quite a bit of Fortnite on PS4, it is kind of distracting to go start all over again on Switch.
So the point is that you lose all your progress.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that includes
And
the stuff you
costumes
bought
and
on that
yeah,
account,
exactly.
too,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that really sucks. I think was it Microsoft or Nintendo that put up like a little coexist thing.
So that for Minecraft, it was released on the Nintendo channel, but it was about crossplay with them and Microsoft, and it ends with them saying "explore together, survive together," but the backdrop is half green, half red,
Right.
and with the Xbox
Is that
and
something like better
Switch
together
logos.
as well?
Yeah, so that's the Minecraft update name.
That
and
gets
I
like a
think
little bit more convoluted because obviously Microsoft owns Minecraft, but in this case, it's sort of the fact that this could work. It just doesn't because of apparently Sony's doing. So
Well, yeah, they kind of admitted that it was just money. It's interesting the history with this. Like in the PS3 era, they were open to it, and then they completely changed their minds on that. And I think this sucks for consumers. Is the thing. I think for gamers, this sucks, and we should put pressure on these giant mega corporations to allow people to do this kind of stuff because it's an arbitrary restriction. And I know so many developers who've spoken to me about caring about it too. Like the Rocket League devs have been.
Oh,
like,
they
"This
care
sucks
so
for us."
much.
Like we really hate that this is a thing. So it's like Sony's not playing with anyone. From a business perspective, that their console is selling so well, like I understand why they're doing it, but at a certain point, you have to think about fans. You know, you have to think about the people who play your games, and you have to give services like that to those people. And I just think this is really disappointing.
Well, and I think you're going to see more and more of it as the industry leans more into these like cross-platform like multiplayer experiences. You know, the idea that I have half the office. I'm sorry, I'm going to do it again, but half the office here plays Destiny 2 on Xbox, and half is on PlayStation 4. And like, I want to go do cool raids with Brian Malkowitz, but he's unavailable because this giant imaginary wall that's been resurrected between the two of them. So
Yeah,
we're getting into such a games as a service environment for almost every game now. Even like single player games are getting that. And to not when you have accounts that go across platforms, because this one it's specifically not just the game, but your Epic account too. It won't even log in.
I think that's where it really sucks. That's specifically. It's one thing to be like, oh, I can't like play a PS4 game against somebody who's playing the Xbox One version of it. That's obviously it gets more complicated there. But in this case, it's just stuff you already spent money on. Like having to make a separate account, that's terrible.
I mean, that's sort of the side effect of being like a big nasty corporation, right? Is like you get a cut of all of that stuff that people are spending their money on. So like for every goofy costume and pickaxe that I buy in Fortnite on PS4, Sony gets a taste of that. And if somebody is importing their file or importing their profile from Switch or from Xbox and they've already spent that money on that platform, Sony's like, well, where's our X% of that stuff that you've already bought? Like,
Does it work that way?
It's an unfortunate side effect. I believe so, yeah.
Interesting.
If them getting a cut.
Yeah.
I would if it's sold through the PlayStation Store. I would assume so. Yeah. Because you're sort of licensing out a thing to be sold on the store.
They would make money off of like a cut of V-Bucks because you're using their store to buy it.
Yeah, it's really interesting because this is a redux of E3 2017 where it was the Rocket League and Minecraft discussions, and I think it was a Sony Europe exec talked about how they were worried about safety, and then
they spoke about not being able to control other platforms. Like their excuse was something along the lines of like, well, we don't know what other people on these other systems are going to be doing. We can't monitor that community, and I actually respect that, even though I think it's total bullshit.
We all know.
It's like,
we all know that those Xbox players have got dirty potty mouths.
They like to cuss quite a bit.
That do a lot of swears over there on the old Xbox.
Well,
the X stands for expletive. Little known fact.
Terrible, the X word. That was just a small snippet of this week's Beyond. For the full episode and lots more, head to IGN.com/watch/Beyond or subscribe to YouTube.com/IGNBeyond today.